Now then, our special guest this morning, she is responsible for one of the funniest shows on TV. It's Miranda Hart, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show. BBC Two sitcom Miranda had me in stitches when it started last Monday. Miranda plays Miranda, a clumsy 30-something who's useless with men and who runs a joke shop with her best friend. Let's start with the obvious then. You're called Miranda. It's called Miranda.
Yes.
How much of Miranda is in Miranda?
I would just like, as a disclaimer, to say I'm not quite as mad as the sitcom Miranda. There are some elements of truth, but it's essentially I have had to exaggerate for comedic purposes, luckily.
It's true, though, quite a lot of the scenarios have been inspired by real
Yes,
life.
in the first episode, I get called Sir by a delivery man in my shop, and I have been called Sir before in real life. I know, but luckily in real life they look at me and say, sorry, madam. Obviously in the sitcom they looked at me and carried on calling me Sir, but that didn't happen in real life.
Now, you must be thrilled with the response it's had.
So far, so good, yeah.
I mean, great ratings, great acclaim as well for it.
Yeah, no, it's very exciting. Can't believe my luck.
Now, amongst many other things, last week saw Miranda explaining how she feels about TV makeover shows. Now, I find this hard to believe. Is it true you haven't read a newspaper for 15 years? Is that true?
It is. I did a degree in politics because my parents made me, and since then got so sort of annoyed that I just sort of stopped reading newspapers. Awful, and now I'm nearly 37 with zero knowledge whatsoever. So good luck, everyone, today.
Good luck you today. You so you really haven't.
No, it's terrible.
Amazed.
Well, I got news for you a couple of weeks
Yeah,
ago,
I saw it.
so I did some frantic reading for that. But yeah, no, it's awful. A terribly apathetic.
No.
Apolitical, but yeah, it's
and
not
isn't
good.
it true that you you suffer from agoraphobia?
I used to, yes.
So, I mean, what are you doing now?
I don't.
Oh, you've conquered it. You've conquered it.
Yeah, otherwise I'd be in a right panic right now. I'm not at home. But no, I used to, yeah, in my 20s, had a bout of it.
So, literally staying indoors all the time?
Yeah, for about 6 months. Yes.
Watching daytime TV?
Yeah.
That's what a politics degree does to you. You just don't want to go out.
You just, yeah, no,
sounds
we've
quite
gone
disturbing.
a bit bleak now, haven't we?
Yeah.
No, it's just, yeah, it's a weird condition. You just open your front door and are just struck with terrible anxiety and can't.
And how do you get over that with?
It just sort of eventually, sort of cognitive behavioural therapy,
Okay.
they call it. Just sort of going out initially, then walking to the shop and realising how psychosomatic it is. But it's.
I feel extra privileged to have you here this morning.
No, I'm fine. This is many years ago.
You're fine. You don't read newspapers. You don't go out your front door.
But I did start. Yeah, I know. What
Starting to build up a
doing here?
picture.
But I did start writing during that time, so it had some. Yeah,
okay.
I had to start sort of, fantasising and putting things up. That sounds wrong, doesn't it?
Not on this show.
But you know, creating another world because I didn't have one, as it were.
Okay, that makes sense. Go on, Scott.
I want to ask you, you copped a bit of a bucket load for the Prince Philip and Queen thing. What did you call them?
I'm not gonna...
What was it again?
Yeah, I nearly went for that.
Do you have any regrets about that?
No, well, it was more the show, really, that got attacked rather than me, because it was one of the autocue jokes, so I didn't write it.
There's been a lot of... I mean, comics have really come under it in the last year or so.
They have, yeah.
And there's been a lot of stories about the BBC trying to sort of keep a lid on comedy. What is your take on that?
Well, I'm the wrong person to say, really. If you saw the show, then a chocolate willy is as kind of racy as I get. I'm quite sort of family, or that's my comedy.
But do you think that's maybe where comedy needs to go, or TV comedy needs?
Well, I think there's a place for both. We shouldn't. There's a place for comedy to be anarchic and anti-establishment, and that's really important. So we shouldn't we shouldn't have rules for comedy. But equally, I think people weirdly do knock My Family and those kind of shows and say it's uncool, and so both are getting attacked. It's weird, but yes.
It creates a lovely little space for your work, I think.
Well, hopefully, although because mine's a studio audience sitcom and it's got filmed in front of a live audience with laughter and it's quite traditional, it does get knocked for that. People, I think, audiences worry that it's not going to be funny.
It's really
it's
unusual for somebody in a sitcom to actually address the camera, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's really unusual to see.
I just imagine what it's like to have a live audience as opposed to the half-dead... Shut up! It's always like to be on ITV.
What have you done?
You can't trust them as far as you can throw this lot. Now then, let's tell you about today's show. Got to keep one eye on them just in case they come over. After the break, we're going to get reaction to today's top story, I guess.